Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Super Sunday. We are live. Listen, there may not be no Premier League, but the content still comes, my people. We got man like Goonie in the building. Chelsea can't depress you this week, but it's all good. What are you saying, bro?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Just recovering from a fever and all that stuff, but I'm back. It's always good
Yeah.
to talk football. You get me?
Yeah, man. Always, man. We got man like Bavs. It's been a minute, but hope you're well. What are you saying, broski?
Yeah, man, all good, all good. And trying to enjoy the international break as much as possible.
Absolutely, man. As much as you can. It's hard out there, but we try to enjoy it. We got man like Deji Spurs. You get me? First time on the channel. Welcome, bro. Big up,
Thank you.
man.
No, thank you, my brother. Thank you. I think the international break probably came at the right time for Tottenham Hotspur. We need as much time as possible to let the injured players heal up real quick, so at least we can carry on with our title charge. But look, pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Yeah, man. A man like Monts is here, repping Liverpool. What you saying, Monts? Big up, bro.
Once.
Hey man, just good times. Obviously, international break's a bit dead, but we're here. We're still pushing the content. You know what I'm saying? Big up everyone on the panel. Make sure you like and subscribe, man.
Yeah, man. Defo, man. Defo. Make sure you hit that like button, people. You know what? What's crazy here? International football, is it really hitting as what it used to be, man? Then because now, yeah, the amount of football we're watching now, if you add the UEFA Champions League format now, next season, I think it is, or something like that, these players will play like 60, 65 matches to around 70 matches per season. That includes international duty. Like, is it now getting to a stage where it's too much football? Yeah, is there a case of too much football? I don't know what you're thinking, man.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there is a bit of, there is. First and foremost, these are human beings. They're not iRobots. Do you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you got to look at player welfare. I know some people will say, look, with the amount of money that they're getting and you're kicking ball twice a week. I mean, we kick ball twice a week as an example. Why can't they do it? But they are playing at elite level. The one thing I will say is that there's a lot of games for me that just don't make sense. You know, England versus Malta. I'm not watching it. Do you know what I mean? That's dry football. I don't want to be watching, no disrespect, England versus Macedonia, San Marino, all of these countries. Until certain countries kind of step up, do you know what I mean? The games are kind of dry. For me, the fun part is when you actually get to the tournament. Obviously, you need to be playing these kind of preliminary rounds to get to the tournament, but there's got to be a way or a method where they could just cut the whole thing short, because really right about now, this is more exciting for me. The exciting part is the Premier League, and then we got to watch, France, for example. Mustafa in the chat put 14 goals past Gibraltar. I don't know who's learning anything from them sort of games, and I don't know how we can even count the goal scorers in those games when
Me.
I can play against Gibraltar and bag 4 goals and 3 assists. So, are we counting that as well? Do you get me? So I don't know. It's a struggle. I find it's a bit dead. And they just got to find a way that works.
Anyone else want to chip in?
I feel like with the international break, it's a difficult one, because I think before the Nations League it was all right. And then obviously now that the Nations, it's like no one really knows the format of the Nation League like that. No one really cares about the Nation League, and obviously you got the other competitions as well. I do feel like, to be devil's advocate though, I feel like countries like Macedonia or again Gibraltar or whatever, they're never really going. Some of those players are never going to get the chance to play against, the likes of Mbappe, the biggest names, the Harry Kanes and whatnot. So I feel like if we are going to play devil's advocate, it is a chance for like players to kind of play against either their heroes or to even be seen on a bigger stage. Because I don't know, what if Malta did have a mad game against England on the one in 100 games, and you see this wonder kid who probably would never have been seen if he didn't get to play at Wembley against England, against some of the finest players that we kind of see. So for me, for us as a viewer, and for us that support the bigger teams, it's shit. It's not great, in it. But I feel like there is like there's a market, I guess, for lesser players, or lesser players to play against the bigger players as an experience for them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is a one way of kind of seeing it, I guess. But I'm not a fan of it, because I don't want my players to get injured playing against guys who, again, are almost like your fans playing against your heroes, pretty much.
guys who work for Royal Mail. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, go on.
Yeah.
That's true though. It's because you know what? You're not even looking at internationals now thinking, I want them to do well. You're just thinking, don't get injured. You know the ones. That's a Mazzolini. And then yesterday we get the quotes from the Nagelsmann, which I thought was crazy. But he said here, Julian Nagelsmann on Kai Havertz playing at left back. I don't see this as a risk for him, but as a very big opportunity to play a key role at the Euros. Kai said he wanted to do it, wanted to try it for the first time in an unfamiliar position. He did it extremely well. I couldn't believe these were real quotes, I thought this was a joke. If it's parody, like Havertz at left back, what's going on? Like, what have you bought? Like, you bought this versatile
Swiss Army knife.
Is that what you guys want? But Jesus is
Yeah, it's Swiss
versatile.
Army knife, isn't it?
So-
Left back, midfielder, striker. You can play everywhere. Maybe goalkeeper. You never know. So
Wow.
I don't know. I think
Wow.
I didn't watch the game, so I don't know what the tactic behind it was. I think maybe it was the fact that he wanted to have a player almost like a free roamer. So when he arrives in the box, like, how are you going to mark a left back? That's the whole idea behind it. That's how he scored as well, actually. So kind of did work, but I ain't seen it. I don't know if Arteta's going to try it. But I think this is what Havertz is kind of about. He's just a versatile player. Like, he doesn't have a set role, but he can play everywhere. And he's like a fundamentally good player, but he's not got like a standout attribute. So he's all right at most things, but has he got like that burst of pace, or can he beat a man with dribbling, or can he shoot from yards? I don't think he can. But he's a very smart player. That's why he can play left back, and I think Nagelsmann's tried something out. I don't think his future's a left back. I think he's more of an attacker for sure. But why not try out? Who's it against? What team did he play? Was it Turkey, right?
Turkey.
Yeah,
Turkey.
so try something out. But I
And
don't
they
see
beat them.
Arteta playing.
And they beat them, didn't they? I think Turkey
Yeah.
won, didn't
Turkey
they?
1-3-2, innit?
Yeah. All I know is Havertz. I think
Oh.
Havertz scored, and then
He contributed to
conceded
2 of the
penalty though
goals
as
that
well.
they conceded. But he did contribute to 2 of the goals they conceded as well. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
I didn't see the game, bro.
No!
I didn't see the game.
65 million. What's
yeah,
going on? We
When
can't
I-
allow this to like. Come on, man. What is going on with football, man? What is going on with Havertz?
Do you know the worst?
Like,
the
what
maddest
are we
thing was
doing?
though, he was once about Arsenal, we got him. Once about Madrid, let's not forget that. Once about Man City as well. This was last summer, by the way. So
What?
yeah,
Man
he was
City?
wanted by
No, 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 no.
yeah.
Wait.
No, I'll
Is
show
it
you
Man
reports,
City?
sir. It was wanted by City and
Well-
Madrid and Bayern. These are 3 top teams, my friend.
Yeah.
Why-
I think,
Bro.
if Real Madrid want Kai Havertz, and that was by a confirmed interest, so
Yeah.
there
But
must
the
be
Box
something. There
clubs,
must
though.
be something.
No, but what it
Yeah,
is,
but that don't. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Barcelona
sure.
wanted Richarlison.
I was just gonna say that there's certain men that are decent players, but maybe they're just not made out for the Premier League. Like when I knew when Arsenal bought Kai Havertz, they were wasting 65 mil. And actually, what they could have done is given me the money to get me rather than buy 65 million. But that's not to say put Kai Havertz in that Real Madrid team in a league that is a lot slower, where the Real Madrid players dominate matches anyway. He would probably do bits there. That one
He'd do
there, I
nothing.
doubt it.
As
Or-
Conor McGregor said, he'd do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You reckon
Oh,
he'll do nothing in Madrid? I think the
Right.
Spanish game will probably suit him. Remember, he was cooking in the Bundesliga before he came to the Prem. So I just think certain leagues suit certain man, but definitely the Premier League doesn't suit him. But I take your point.
I'm telling you, with the several seasons that we've had with Kai Havertz, the only thing that I'll give him at Chelsea is that he turned up for big moments. And I think those big moments is what prolonged his career at Chelsea Football Club. Obviously, Champions League goal, several others that he scored as well. But in terms of what you're looking for on a consistent basis at the highest level, unfortunately, Kai Havertz just isn't it. He's not. I just felt like in Germany at Bayer Leverkusen, he was that big fish in the small pond. And sometimes when that big fish leaves and joins the other bigger fish, he's not the big fish that everybody thought that he was. We've seen this time and time again. And as well, I just think, and do you know what? I do agree with some of what you say, but I also think that the pace of the Premier League is kind of beyond him as well at times. I'm not going to lie to you. Personally, I'm happy that we got rid of him, especially to Arsenal. No offense, Bavs. Obviously, you're a rival. But I don't really see how he strengthens that squad. Well, if we're talking London, and if we're being real about it, do you know what I mean? It is the case. We're not gonna be in the ghetto for too long. Don't
This is
worry.
in the summer, by the
We
way.
must rise. We must rise.
This is in
Steinberg.
June.
Ain't a bad source.
Yeah,
as well.
he's sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Jacob
No,
Steinberg. So
he's a decent. But I'm just saying, like, there must be something. If Man City won him, Madrid won him, Arsenal got him. These are all good teams that they're well run. They sign good players. Man City and Arsenal, by the way, they have like similar scouting. We sign who they want, kind of thing, and it's vice versa. They wanted Rice, we got Rice. You know, they wanted Havertz, we got Havertz. I think you're right. Big moments are something that stands out for me this season. In 2 games that he stood up for me is Man City at home in the league, and he helped us win that game, got the assist, and in the Community Shield. So clearly, he offers Arsenal something that Mikel Arteta wants. If it's worth £65 million is a different question, but we'll see. I think also with Havertz, I feel like we bought him 1 season too soon in terms of what he's best at, which is for me a secondary striker. But because we don't have an out-and-out number 9 to play off with him, he's kind of having to adapt to playing on the left-hand side sometimes, maybe sometimes up front. I think if once we get a proper striker to play with him, to lay off to him and to play alongside him, I think he'll do better. I think he's more of like a secondary. But you know how you see at City,
you can't play with second strikers though. Second strikers are rare nowadays.
No, I'm talking about where he arrives into the box though.
Yeah, go on.
That's what I'm taking. That Alvarez proper profile where he's like not the main striker behind, but he's behind Haaland.
Yeah,
but we don't have a Haaland to play with him, so that's what I feel like at least.
I was going to say, sorry, I was just going to say that, Babs, that I think Arteta just got carried away. You know, he was still kind of riding off the vibe of all or nothing. And I would say that vibe of all or nothing, he kind of took that kind of energy into last season. The truth of the matter is he felt a little bit too highly of himself. He thought he was going to be the only person that could find a way or find an assistant.
That's a good point.
And you know what? He got burnt. And we know that Arteta is a madman because why would you play your best DM right back? Yeah? You would only do that unless you think you've come up with some new formation or you think you're creative. And Arteta seems to think that he's creative and that he can do things different. And the fact of the matter is, what we've seen from Kai Havertz this season is even the great Arteta, because you know he obviously considers himself to be great, can't even fix this brother. This brother needs to come out of the Prem and save his career. He needs to go to Germany, Spain, or the MLS.
Can I just say, like, as much as we're saying this, it's 12 games into his Arsenal career. Do you not think you're getting a little bit carried away here? Writing a player off here who was once by Pep, once by Arteta, once by no, but Chelsea didn't have a set manager.
What is he doing?
Chelsea,
I'm
not trying to say right. What I'm trying to say is we're writing off as a complete and utter flop. A guy that's 24, a guy that's wanted by all these top managers.
He came into the Arsenal. Hold on a minute, Pat. He came into Arsenal as a flop. That's where the standard is. He needs to tell you that he isn't a flop. And for me, 12 games, we've not seen nothing. Like this guy's meant to be.
I'm not saying we have, but we can probably judge him better at the end of the season, right? If we're going to judge him after 12 games, call him a flop. If he goes and scores a winner in an FA Cup final, he becomes an instant cult hero. So things can change like that. I'm telling you, by the way, it can change like that.
No.
And I hope they change for him as well. I'm not saying they will, but as an Arsenal fan, I give him the benefit of doubt. And I also think that we've not played our best team as much this season either. You talk about Gabriel Jesus. How many league games has he started? How many times have you played with Kai Havertz? So, look, I'm going to give him the benefit of doubt because with Chelsea, I'm not quite sure. Chelsea, whoever goes there flops right now. Whoever goes there is doing poor. There's a reason why they're 11th. So I think that's a poor judgment. So we'll see him at Arsenal at the end of the season. But
okay, so you say that. What about the Chelsea team that was successful in terms of winning trophies? Something that
he was started for you guys. He won your
but he's come away. But he's come away with a Champions League winning goal, and he's still not considered a cult hero at Chelsea Football Club. So what does that say about?
We all know how Chelsea fans operate, my friend. 1 minute he's Mason Mount's the best in the world. Next minute he's get him out of the club.
Well, hold on.
I'm just saying, with Chelsea fans, there's a history there, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's a little Jorginho is amazing, get him out of the club. He's amazing, get him out of the club. There's a lot of Chelsea fans don't know who they rate. By the way,
I can only speak for myself as a Chelsea fan. Number one, I've never rated Jorginho ever, and and this is the beautiful thing about YouTube because there's records. Right? Here's another thing. Kai Havertz, I've always said about this guy, regardless of the goals that he scored in important moments, he's never been that guy that was ever going to be elite or world class. I've said that about him. I've said I'm a very, very honest Chelsea fan. At least I like to think so. What I see with my eyes, what I observe, I tell it how it is. Them two players have never been good enough. Mason Mount, I was one of the first ones to come out and say, this guy is not good enough. Long term for Chelsea, he is not it. Right now, currently speaking, regardless of the goals that Jackson has scored over the past few days, Saeed, can you attest to what I'm about to say? When have I ever rated this guy to be good enough for Chelsea Football Club? As controversial as it may be within some of my fan base, I've always told it, bro. Yeah, players that are good enough, I'll stand up and speak. There's not a special player for me at any club unless you prove yourself. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care if you came from the academy. I don't care if you're Roman Abramovich's son. If you are not producing at a certain level, I'm going to tell it. Yeah, so you can't speak for all Chelsea fans because some
I'm not saying
like
I am
me
though,
that
but I'm
exist.
saying just for every as many as fans like yourself, there's the opposite as well. So it's not
That's
like
true.
do you know what I'm trying to say?
Several
So
fans.
Chelsea's a massive club with a lot of fans. And what I see often on social media is a lot of contrasting opinions because there's a lot of their stands, they support a player and they support him like a club. Like going back to Kai Havertz, I don't think, no one's saying I'm not saying it's a success, by the way. I'm just saying, just relax a little bit. He's 12 games into his Arsenal career. And as people acting like he's done that bad, by the way, I don't think he's done poorly. I just think he's done outstanding stuff. That's the problem.
He's
And
been
when
a
you don't do
flop.
outstanding stuff at £65 million, that's where you're gonna.
It's
I don't think he's been a flop.
It's
No, I
not
don't think he's
about.
been a flop.
I think we're wording things the wrong way in it. Like, Baz, obviously, I do agree where it is a bit early to say man's and complete and like write him off in it. Like, I don't think any player should be written off after 12 games at any football club. However,
That's my point.
I do think that I do think that there's a certain level and there's a certain quota for a certain player at a certain price. Do you know what I'm saying? And you said, like, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think as an Arsenal fan, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, you don't have a choice here because, let's be honest, with all the midfielders that were available after Xhaka's departure, Kai Havertz was probably not on your list. And he probably wasn't on a lot of Arsenal fans' list. Also, Kai Havertz was probably on the tip of a lot of Arsenal fans' tongues while at Chelsea as not being good enough. So I think it is also a bit condescending to say, give him time when when he's been talked about in a negative view by a lot of Arsenal fans. Do you know how many Arsenal fans were calling this guy shit? He's crap. I don't care about his Champions League goal. He ain't good enough. The second he puts on an Arsenal kit, let's give him the benefit of the doubt, guys.
Isn't how football works? If a player plays for your team, you support him. If you don't play for your team, you're against him.
Yeah, and I know that's how football works. You now have to support him because he's got the shirt on. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's we're gonna give it. You have to give him the benefit of that. Like, you guys don't have,
and that's what I'm doing. I'm obliging to what a fan should be doing.
Can I just say that? Guys, I'm like you. When I rep my club, I rep it till I die. Do you get me? But sometimes we just got to accept that there's certain L's that we're going to have to take as a club.
Yeah.
And the L that your club has to take is Jorginho. Chelsea were laughing when they sold Jorginho to you. And Chelsea were blatantly laughing when they sold Havertz to you. So basically, Arsenal made two mistakes. You should never have bought them two men from Chelsea. Let's just be real. They're both.
They both players from Chelsea.
And also,
I don't know why they keep going down the Chelsea route, man. I don't know why you keep going down the
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Those two players ain't going to bring Arsenal the Premier League. You, man, were supposed to kick on from last season and go for the Prem. And those two players ain't doing that. I'm here, even as a Spurs fan, to offer a little white flag and help and to say, look, go out, go and get better players. Get me. But Havertz isn't that guy. Jeez. Go out and get some players.
Couple that's manager of the months and these men are giving white flags out to me.
I
think just to respond on Jorginho, right, is that for me is I don't agree. I don't think he's been a flop because you have to think of what was he signed to be? Not a starter, a backup, and he's been a very good backup. For £12 million, he's come in, offered his experience, reliable when he's coming to the team. Made one mistake against Spurs, I'll give you that. So maybe that stands up for you guys. But I've seen him play week in, week out for Arsenal, and I don't think he's made our squad worse. He's improved it. So we've gone from players like El Neni to Jorginho. So that for me is not a flop. Now Kai Havertz is opposite conversation because, as you said, £65 million, you're going to be judged off that price tag. So until he offers that type of value, he'll be seen as a flop as well. But Jorginho, come on, let's not give disrespect to my man.
I think he's been great, but I don't think he's been a flop. I don't think he's been anything.
But that's what I'm trying to. No, he's just been a solid player, which is what he's been brought in to do.
No, I wouldn't say solid player. I'd say steady Eddie.
No, he's a solid player. Trust me.
He's a squad.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're saying the same thing, Saeed.
He's a professional. He's a professional footballer,
and that's what he's been brought in to do.
Professional footballer. He's a steady Eddie. He's a guy who just comes in, makes everyone tick. I don't think he's been out of this world. I just think he's just been there. I wouldn't say he's a flop. I wouldn't say he's a flop. No, I wouldn't say he's a flop.
No, Saida, but what do you not want to see from Jorginho? Because I think there's this notion that holding or deep line midfielders are supposed to transform the team? Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
what is
saying.
the expectation of Jorginho? Because again, and I'm not even talking about his price tag. He's there to kind of dictate play when Rice isn't playing. Isn't that what he's doing?
Jorginho is a
playing with Rice as
progressive
well,
passer,
though.
isn't it? The Rice is
Yeah.
basically there to help Jorginho out defensively. It's a complementary partnership. One progresses the
Yeah.
passes, the other guy drives with the ball and defends well as well.
Yeah.
So it works well. Obviously, Partey and Rice will be better, but Partey's injured right now. So drop off from Partey to Jorginho is not as big as you'd have it if you have El Neni there instead.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't even go in on Jorginho because the price tag was what 12, 13 million, if
Yeah,
that.
respect
Yeah, I mean, so it's not a
J20,
big-
bro. I'm not trying to hear this.
Well,
Wait,
wow.
J2O.
This is where you go too far. Why do you do this, man?
I'm just saying, respect my man, innit? He's a good,
Oh,
solid
my God.
player. Does his job week in week out. Side, you're acting like this. He would probably start for Man United. He probably start for Man United.
He wouldn't.
He would.
He wouldn't.
He's starting for United. He is.
He
one
starts,
of
if he starts for Arsenal, he starts for Man
Amrabat.
United.
We
If
got
Eriksen
Amrabat, man. We got
starts for
Blaze in
United,
that
then
role. We
Jorginho
got
starts for
Ericsson.
United.
We got Ericsson, man. I'd keep Ericsson.
Brother, you got Scott McTominay in midfield. Jorginho starts for
reckon
Man
me
United.
and
No,
Deji-
forget that.
Bro.
No, but we're talking about profiles. We're talking about
Casemiro.
what's there and what the manager's not using. It's different. We've got our
Same.
squad. We've got players that can play in that roles. So it's not about having Jorginho for the sake of Jorginho. You know?
Saeed, Saeed, me and Deji starting to pivot for United right now.
Yeah,
Come on,
Yeah,
Bro.
100%.
in the pivot
Listen, man.
right now.
And I haven't
Listen,
trained in
what-
weeks,
listen.
years.
Listen, your midfield needs sorting out as well. You need a DM. You need Jorginho.
No.
You need a DM.
I don't need Jorginho. Bro, McAllister.
Would you rather have Jorginho or Endo? Would you rather have Jorginho or Endo?
No, Jorginho or McAllister because that's who's playing there at the moment.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jorginho
No,
or
makes
Endo?
Jorginho the conversation topic. You can't.
Look at that. Exactly.
Jorginho
That's what I'm
does.
saying. Jorginho or Endo?
Bro, no one's talking about Endo. I'm talking about who plays there right now.
Wow.
Who plays,
So
who
no
plays there
one
right
talks
now?
about Endo then.
McAllister or Endo? Who plays there
Wow.
right now as a starting DM? Even though
What
McAllister's
is McAllister's natural position?
he's an 8.
So you'd prefer him?
So why
to
are you
play
comparing
number 6 then?
Yeah, because Endo
Jorginho
ain't off the level, but it's fine. Like, listen, we're not here to talk about my midfield because as poor as the gaping hole that lies in my midfield is like the gaping gap that lies between my club and Gooni's club and my club and Saeed's club. So please, again, there's a breeze down. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone, and let's go back to talking about JT outside.
Look at that. When he can't win the little mini battle, he has to go to where we are in the league. That you never know when that can happen. But right now, what we could talk about is the midfield. Who's a better midfielder? So it is what it is. But listen, going back to the Havertz thing, I don't know, man. I just hope that for your sake, Babs, that he don't take no little gimmies because Zinchenko ain't playing that well. And Havertz all of a sudden becomes this left back and that, and the manager's trying to usher him to say, "Yo, listen," Nagels will say, Havertz, can you play him there until the Euros? Imagine that.
You never
Imagine
know,
that
mate.
he gets, bro. That's crazy.
You
That's
never know.
absolutely
You never
crazy,
know.
man. That's crazy, man. Big up to my guy Nedu, man. I appreciate the donation, my guy. He says, big up the chat, just paying my rent. Yo, big up Nedu from Canada. Appreciate the love. Big up to everybody here, man. 850 of yous in the building. Hit the like button, people. Get them likes up. Let's get up to 500 likes ASAP, man. I want to move on to Ivan Toney, man, because I feel like nobody's talking about Ivan Toney, And there's some news coming out yesterday. Tottenham are unlikely to make a move for Brentford Ivan Toney in January to focus their efforts on signing Rafinha. I mean, Rafinha instead of Toney is a bit of a wild one. I can't lie to you. Like, I would put all my eggs in one basket with Toney. But
What about
Rafinha?
what about Kulusevski though? Ain't Kulusevski the guy?
Well,
Kulusevski's not the guy. No, he's not.
Now let's
I thought he was better than Saka.
right.
Kulusevski is
Oi.
he's a hard worker. But in terms
He's a
of
hard worker.
having the end product in the final third, I think it is a wise move to kind of go with that. Plus, let's be real, is Ivan Toney a better finisher than Son? He's not. Let's be real, he's not. I would rather have Son in the
what?
speed attack than Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney hasn't proven himself in a big club. He might do one of them ones where he goes up a level and he can't find his feet. One of them ones. It's a risk.
But Deji, let me ask you a question though.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
One complaint that I've heard from Spurs fans, well, I'm going to say Sava because I listen to a lot of his stuff, is you have issues with squad depth.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that he doesn't come in and improve your squad altogether?
No, he does. He's another option. Definitely. Look, our squad depth is non-existent.
Do you need squad depth to be successful in the Premier League and in other competitions?
But what I am saying,
They're not in any other
look, I rate Ivan Toney. I think he's a baller, but there's still question marks. Do you get me? I'm not so certain. I'm not sure Ivan Toney is a top 6 striker. I know, and I appreciate his record
I'm
at
with you on
Brentford.
Yes, man.
I appreciate it, but can he do it when he steps up another level? That is the question that no one's sure about, and so it is a risk. A lot of people say, yeah, no, he's gonna do it. It's not guaranteed. And remember, we're not. I don't really see many headed goals these days. Teams are not playing the ball in the air. I'm not saying he's only effective in the air, but the way the game is going is quick, it's fast, it's on the ground. And Ivan Toney is more of that kind of hold-up player, that kind of guy. And there's not many of them about. You can see, even though Haaland scored the goals he scored, you can still see he's looking stiff. So I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. There's
No, but you know what it is though? I don't like the point of sorry, Mons. Yeah, I don't like the point where people say, "Oh, can he do it against a bigger club?" Yeah, that can be the case, but also you've seen it in the Premier League. You've seen him against big clubs bullying players. We can talk about players that maybe bully smaller teams. I can name you a few strikers that only turn up against a smaller team. This guy's turned up against big teams in big games, man. This guy scored double digit goals in the past 2 seasons. Like, people need to put some respect on Tony's name, man. And listen, Son is having what you call purple patches. You know, he will do well for a certain amount, but then might ghost for a little bit. This guy will perform throughout the whole season. Even when he's playing bad, he will be of a benefit to you with the hold-up play, with everything like that. You need a Tony in your team. Son, what is he approaching 31 now? He's going towards past the lot of his career. Ivan Toney is in his prime. You've got a finisher here. You know how hard it is to find a striker nowadays in world football? Like, that can guarantee you goals. For me, Ivan Toney is that. But Mons, go ahead, bro.
No, I was saying, like, I just think aren't you worried about the bigger picture, Deji? The fact that, like, in terms of links, in fact, not even in terms of links, when you look at your defensive depth, it's Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, the young light skin you that no one's heard of or no one's seen him play. Who's the other one? There's someone else there as well.
Phillips.
I can't remember. Who's the other person? And you man are being linked to Rafinha, Toney. Go get some defenders.
No, we need the defender. That's
go. No, defenders. Go. That's what you don't need. You know, you don't need Guna Lee to step in, or you need something, because I'll be real. Like, you don't. I'm not even saying fill your squad to the point where you can challenge for the title. I am a firm believer that a fit Spurs 11 is as good as anyone in the Premier League right now. Yeah, Spurs' best 11.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. With Man City, with Liverpool, with Chelsea, with everyone. Yeah. However, post 70 minutes, squad as well. The squad's the obvious thing. Post 75 minutes, you can't be bringing on Davis. You can't be, again, maybe Bentancur's okay to bring on when he's fit in that. But bro, like, I feel like it's only certain positions you need to kind of just fill in to maintain where you are. As I said, like, your first 11 is so good, but the drop-off is scary, man. I think attackers are the least of your problems. And the only thing I'll say about Son is just that Son is done on the left wing. It's like Mane. It's like Mane in 2021.
Yeah.
His left wing days are done. But if he goes up top, he's still got the know-how. He's got both feet. He's got brilliant movement, so he can do what he needs to do. So I think it's an issue that Son can only play up top. You know, if that means, because usually you'd want to say, okay, Son on the left, Rafinha on the right, I don't know, Toney up top. Yeah, now we're cooking. You can't even do that now because man's you can't move him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Toney thinks air. That's air. And Rafinha as well. That's air, man. I think it's air.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, Tottenham should be focused. I mean, look, there's 3 areas that we need to strengthen. We need at least another centre back, like you said, Tapsoba. I think from Leverkusen was the one we tried to bring in the summer.
Good player.
Let's see if we can get him in Jan. We need cover for Madders. I think definitely Lo Celso isn't the guy. If we can find someone, some people can say Bentancur can do the job, but I would want another attacking midfielder who's kind of challenging Maddison, because right now Maddison's just got that position on lock. And then we do need a striker. I guess part of me is also thinking, is Tottenham ready to go into a little kind of an auction between us and Arsenal? We're not ready to spend the 80 mils that it's probably going to take to bring my man to Tottenham. So we need to go in and get a decent strike. If we get 3 players, and those 3 positions, I think Tottenham could do something this season for sure. But
What happened-
you're
what
right,
happened to
Rafinha
Ndombele?
is probably more a luxury player. But bro, we've lost Perisic, we've lost Solomon. Brennan Johnson looks a little bit injury-ish. So in terms of having someone on the left-hand side, we've lost Richarlison. He's had an operation. We don't really have something. One thing that we could do that no one's seen yet is that Kulusevski is left-footed, meaning he could play on the left and have Rafinha on the right. Now that is a new option, new front three with Son in the middle. So that's probably Spurs' thinking at the moment as well.
But what don't you just quickly as well? Don't you? What happened to Ndombele? Is he done? Is he sold or is he on loan? Is he sold?
Yeah, he's on Galatasaray. That's right.
He's at
I know he's
That's
at
right.
Galatasaray, but is he sold or is he on loan?
He's on loan with the option
Yeah.
to buy.
Because the way Ange's
Right.
obviously changed Basuma, like he's transformed Basuma into what he was. Do you reckon you can get that out of Ndombele, or is that just a loss of
No.
goals now?
He gave
talent-wise-
Ndombele
You know what? Let me ask you a question.
is the answer. But go on. Sorry.
Would you take Sancho? Would you take Sancho? I think Sancho would be a good fit, for Tottenham.
off the
Tottenham
left
are
as
looking
well?
at Sancho. He could cook at Tottenham, I would.
Yeah.
Rafinha or Sancho. I think under Postecoglou, he could probably bring out the best in Sancho. For real. I think he could be deadly at Spurs. Why not?
He can
Yeah.
pop triangles. He pops triangles as well. Sancho, he's on that wave.
Yeah. Sancho, listen, I don't know who wants to take him, but obviously he's probably going to be leaving in the summer. Sorry, in January. You get me? He'd probably go to maybe Europe as well. Juventus want him as well. So it depends, man. But you know what's mad though? I don't think Toney leaves, because I just looked at it, and Wisa and Mbeumo are going to the African Cup of Nations in January. And guess who comes back in January? Ivan Toney. So they need to keep him no matter what. So I don't know, Baz, are you kind of
Price tag.
are you still looking in that direction, or you don't think you need a striker?
It's 80 mil.
He's an option. He's an option, but he's not my option. And I say that because we're at that stage now. If we're going to beat City, we need to make a massive move that changes us massively. And I think Tony's he improves us, but does he take us like Haaland took City? Is he our Haaland? I don't think he is. So I think it's about patience for Arsenal. Rather than signing Toney for 1-2 seasons, wait a little bit longer and sign a proper big striker who you think can last for longer, i.e. someone like Osimhen or someone of that caliber that could make you a title challenger team for the next 5-6 years. So I think it's about, like we for Declan Rice, rather than jumping the gun and signing someone else, wait for Rice, get your player in properly and actually elevate the squad. And I think Arsenal, we're going to spend massive money either in January or in the summer. But I think right now, our priority isn't a striker. I'd rather go for a midfielder. That's why we're looking at Douglas Luiz, or maybe in a defender behind Saliba.
Oh yeah, because Partey might leave in January as well. So that's
And
one.
and he's got AFCON as well, regardless. So
yeah, but he won't leave. If you're gonna get thinking,
no, we're not
Douglas
selling
Luiz,
Partey, but I think Douglas Luiz would be a very sensible signing.
He's
depending
gonna
on the price
cost
tag.
you at least 60 million. Douglas
Yeah,
Luiz.
but in the current market, man, who else can we get in January? Because you have to pay a higher price tag in January. That's just normal. So you accept that straight away. Would I spend 80 on Toney or 60 on Luiz, who's 25, a bit younger, suits what Arteta wants, can play in multiple positions? For me, it's
Yeah,
a
but
no-brainer.
Tony's 28 though, man. He's 27.
No, I'm
man.
not saying
I think
Tony's a
he's
bad
old.
signing for Arsenal, but I think for striker, there's players in the market in the summer that will be elevating us far higher than Ivan Toney.
Yeah, but what are you looking for? Are you looking for a project, or are you looking to win now?
Because I don't think if Ivan Toney signs for Arsenal, we're guaranteed to win a title. If I'm signing Ivan Toney, I need a guarantee we win a title. I don't think that is
There's
the
a
case.
guaranteed striker out there that's going to score you 20 goals in the league. I don't think
There's
there
players
is
that-
many.
No, like the likes of Osimhen. Osimhen, that's the one.
He ain't going to Arsenal.
No,
though.
listen.
Let's
He
have
ain't going
that
to
right
Arsenal,
immediately.
man.
He's
Come on,
definitely
Why
man.
would he not go to
Know your
Arsenal?
level,
Not in
man.
January, but why would he not
Know
go to
your
Arsenal?
level. Listen, man, know your role, bro.
You'll see for yourself.
Come
let me
on, man.
let me just
No, but why would, I'm asking you for the question. Why would he not go to Arsenal?
because we're gonna go in for him and we're gonna
Also,
outbid.
because Chelsea are going to go for him.
We're gonna outbid
that-
you.
so
And
you
the
guys
fact
are
that
competition.
We're gonna outbid you.
That's his preferred club. Listen, are you gonna really do this with Chelsea, regardless of where we finish? If we really want a player, we will get them ahead of you. If we really want
Brother,
to. We will.
I hear
We're-
you.
regardless, and we're
Do
shaking
you
his
think-
guy. Even if we
if
open
they're right
we
on
think
that
that
one.
we'll do it.
Stand down, stand
Right on
down.
that
Sure, they're the only
Stand
ones
down.
offering 8-year contracts.
Stand down.
One second.
Stand down,
While
Bab,
Chelsea
stand down,
are
stand
the
down,
stupidest
Bab.
clubs to pay the money, I agree. You pay money for anyone. Look at
No,
Madrid,
no,
for
no, don't
example.
do that. Don't do that.
Right, you do.
Don't
I understand that.
It's
However,
worked for us over the
if
past
Arsenal
20 years. Has it worked for you?
Look at Declan Rice. Look at Declan Rice. You know,
We did one
offered the money.
sided.
I'm not talking about you, but Man City wanted him, and we put the money
Did they-
down the
how much
table.
did-
If
did they
Arsenal,
bid for him?
if Arsenal,
Manchester
see-
City, hold on. If Manchester City matched your bid, is he going to Arsenal or City?
he's still going to Arsenal.
I think
Because where's he going to play for City?
Wow.
Where's he playing for City? Is it as a DM of Rodri? No.
He'd start right now. He could either play a
You know what I
number
mean?
8 or a DM.
For Arsenal, he was given a centerpiece of the project. For City, he would have been a bit of a, you got to find your place first. That's why he went to Arsenal. For Osimhen, I mean, Chelsea might not even get Champions League football. So why would he want to go from Napoli, who are in the Champions League, to Chelsea, who are basically 11th right now?
He was contemplating going
That's
to
why we're
Al-Hilal.
favourites to sign him.
Your favourites to sign him?
All of this.
Am I forgetting something here? Are you guys like first or my?
This thing about Champions League, it makes no sense. We signed Kante with the Champions League. And who
But
did
Kante
we
went
sign?
from Leicester, right?
Manchester
Who even though
United,
they won
okay,
Champions League
cool.
this year,
Manchester
they weren't as
United
good as
signed-
Napoli are right now.
Manchester United signed Pogba with no Champions League.
I'm not saying you can't attract superstars.
No, but
but
yeah,
if
but
you've
yeah,
got a
but there's-
Champions
hold on.
League club after him as well.
Yeah, but that's Pogba's childhood club for one.
That's what I'm saying, right? There's no.
And Kante
Hey,
hadn't
Chelsea
seen
fans
it-
should relax, you know.
and Kante hadn't seen
No,
a
but-
Champions League football before in his life. So
Okay, cool.
again,
But this
you
is
can't
this
love
is
what
the
you
thing.
ain't had before.
But this is
We
this is
can
the thing.
still
We
buy
finished
50
we
players
finished 10th the
when
season
you-
before. There was no Champions League. So I had so
But Chelsea
Listen.
have Paul. Chelsea have Paul, and
They do.
Chelsea have Paul. But Arsenal are probably the more attractive proposition. I just think
That's
that.
all I'm trying to say.
no, I'm not saying that they're not.
I don't get it.
They're not.
Arsenal's more
But when it,
attractive than Chelsea.
I'm
Do
not
you
saying
reckon that
right
Arsenal
now.
are more attractive
Right
than
now they
Chelsea?
definitely are. If we're having honest conversations, right now they definitely are. They're in Europe. They're riding high in the table. The only thing that goes against them is that they've not crossed the finish line in terms of either the Premier League or the Champions League in over 20 years.
Project,
You
though,
don't,
man.
you don't think
Like-
certain players look at the project though? Because I
Yeah, that's what
wasn't
I'm saying.
surprised that
It's not a
Lavia
project.
picked Chelsea over Liverpool because he's probably looking at the man them around him saying, you know what, if Pochettino gets it right, this
Clicks.
team
Yeah,
is
yeah,
likely
clicks.
to put
Yeah,
more
yeah.
than Liverpool. And actually, I'm more likely to do more bits. I know he's not played, but I do think certain man them are also looking at the players around them, the type of players. Look at Cole Palmer, how he's cooking. Maybe some of that's going on. And to be fair, if Chelsea get top 4, then it's game on.
Now,
I
I think
agree
with
with you
Arsenal
on
right
that.
now, you know, Arsenal have the players, as you just said, young players as well, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, etc., and Declan Rice. We've got a manager who I think right now is just as attractive, if not more than Pochettino, because
Odegaard,
Poch's, you know,
man
his
slipped that in there.
Poch's stocks have gone a bit down compared to what he was at prime Spurs. He went to PSG, didn't quite work out. Went to Chelsea, he's not quite working out so far either. Arteta has been consistently doing it for the last 2-3 seasons. He's proven they can improve his players as well. You can see what he's done with Saka and Martinelli.
What
I don't
has
know why I'm
Arteta-
arguing
what has
why
Arteta
Arsenal are a
done?
more attractive club.
Somebody please.
No, they go on like
explain to me.
Arteta's done
What
something.
has he
before.
done?
No,
He's
listen
had
to
last
what I just
season,
said. Listen to specifically what I just said. I
93%
didn't
of
say
the season
he
he
won a
was top
trophy.
and he didn't
I said
win.
I'm
What's
talking about
going on
improving
here?
players, right? You look at how he's improved.
Has
Recent
Poch got more
examples, by
honours?
the way.
Has Poch got more
Right?
honours than
I mean, he
Arteta?
probably got
He does.
one French league, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. Like at Spurs, he ain't got none. Can't tell you that for a fact. Then you will know about that. Got nothing at Spurs, unless the second place trophy counts. So
Are we giving props to the FA Cup?
I've never heard someone praise so much for doing nothing major yet.
that's what I'm trying to say.
I
So
rate
I think
Arteta,
Arteta is.
The praise is a bit
Super big
over.
Arteta.
No, I think
you know
Arteta
exactly what
is
we
a
need.
more attractive proposition than Pochettino right now because of his
Yeah,
recent
but no,
examples
I agree.
of
That's-
improving
I agree.
players. As I said, Saka and Martinelli. So he's made players that are young bucks to superstars. So if I'm Osimhen, I'm going. I can play with Mudryk, or I can play with Martinelli and Saka with Odegaard, Rice, and I don't know someone else behind me. Or I'm going to Chelsea, who even know that who's the best midfielders, who's the best attackers. We don't even know that yet. Poch might not even be the end of the season, by the way, because so much can change at Chelsea. Arsenal's stability.
But you got, but again, this okay. Let me
Arsenal,
just
you got-
flip it this way, Babs. Poch is 12 weeks into his tenure at Chelsea, and you just said about Havertz that you can't write him off. And I'm not saying you're writing off Poch. I'm not saying
I'm
you're
not
writing
saying I
off
am,
Poch.
by the way. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you look at Arteta half a season into Arsenal, or maybe even a year into his Arsenal, into his Arsenal career as a manager, would you think, would it be fair to compare him to someone who's, again, maybe I'm saying this wrong because no one's actually comparing them in that way. But I don't know. I think it's early to say.
But my question to you is though, who is a more attractive manager right now? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but I agree. Arteta is the
There you
more
go.
attractive.
I'm not trying to say it's like a long-term future. I'm just talking about right now.
But you know what it is though?
From his
Can
failings.
I just say though?
Go on.
You know, sorry to cut you off here.
on.
Attractive without any substance or any kind of, what I mean,
Why is that no
things
substance?
behind it. I think no, but you know what? You know why? Because I feel like yes, you are in a good position and you're in a good moment. but it's still for me doesn't sound like it's attractive, innit? Like it's just for me, it's just
Doesn't
you
sound
know what he's
attractive to
doing
you.
well, but we're also dismissing what Pochettino has done. Pochettino's got a track record of Tottenham Hotspur of building Tottenham Hotspur to where they are today, and also Southampton. You got to remember what he did at Southampton. So let's not
He's not
dismiss that as
seeding.
well. I know
He's not
he's in a good
seeding.
position, but let's not realize that
He's got
Pochettino has
Tottenham.
done a lot as well in his career.
He got
You know,
I'm not
Tottenham
saying
into a
he's not.
Champions League final against Liverpool. And forgive me because maybe my football knowledge is a little bit flawed, but Arteta took over Unai, yeah?
Yes.
He took over Unai. So
Who
some
signed
people may argue-
Martinelli, by the way, and brought through Saka into
Right.
the squad. So I don't know.
You
about
do
all
realise
this
that
about
Martinelli was a
LG.
scouted signing, not an
But-
Emery signing. So I don't know what you're on about there.
But all
He's
Arteta's
scouted
given
by
Arsenal
Arsenal.
fans so far is the
I'll give you that.
Community Shield and the FA Cup.
Yes,
I'm just
2
wondering
Community
which
Shields
one's more
and an FA Cup.
impressive. I'm just saying.
yeah.
No, I'm
listen.
not saying Poch's got more behind him. I agree, but I'm talking about football's a quick game, and it's about recent success. And recently, you can see the success of Martinelli, Saka, how he's improved them. And we talk about, as you said there, Emery brought through Saka as a left back. Arteta transformed him into one of the best right wingers in the world. That's something different, right? And that's what I'm talking about. Is you're looking at Osimhen right now. You're going, I'm going to a club that's proven to improve its attackers. Where if I go Chelsea, a club that proven to flop its attackers every single time. Everyone that goes there flops. Havertz was a well-beater going at Leverkusen, goes Chelsea, flops. Werner was a guaranteed success, flopped to Chelsea as well. So it's a proven record at Chelsea that when the strikers go there, they flop. Whereas at Arsenal, attackers go to Arsenal and they're thriving. So that's the difference.
Here's the thing though. With Timo Werner, and on the balance of things, I will accept that he's not done well. But this is the thing: is in terms of what he's done for Chelsea and what even Kai Havertz has done for Chelsea, it's more than what they've ever done at Arsenal. I know Wenger doesn't play. I mean, what's his name?
12
Werner
games.
don't play at Arsenal, but it is what it is. But these man, listen, I'm not going to disregard the fact that if it wasn't for Timo Werner, we possibly wouldn't have gone through as far as we did in the Champions League and win it. Yeah, if it wasn't for Kai Havertz, fair play to him, he scored that Champions League goal, he won it. Those are things that you can actually look back and say, all right, cool. The player was a flop, but did he repay part of his price tag? Absolutely, he did. The question still stands for you. This is the problem, right? Until you guys actually go and lift either the Prem or the Champions League, you cannot claim success. It's impossible. Same way as I'm saying right now, under this regime at Chelsea Football Club, we've not proved nothing yet. We haven't. But the matter of the fact is that if we are going to go for the same striker, Osimhen, right, the chances we are going to succeed. We're going to be the one to sign that player, 100%.
And why is that?
Because I explained it to you. Because we're just going to throw money at the issue, 100%. We're going to be shameless
No,
about
but
it.
are you
We're
then
gonna
more
throw money
attractive
at the
than us,
issue.
though? That was my point.
Right now, no. I've said it. Right now,
No.
we're
There you
not.
go.
Right now, we're not.
Just
100%.
win, guys, man. You know what it is with me, yeah? I wouldn't want to be a club that's attractive, yeah, but then don't have the minerals to kind of win and finish it off in it. Now, I don't want to be this attractive club that, goes into obscurity. Like, I want to win something as well. So I get what you mean, but then also Chelsea are in a position where they can win as well because they just need missing jigsaws.
That's what
And I
I'm
feel
saying.
like with Pochettino
Wasn't
there
that the
as
same with
well.
Arsenal?
No,
Is that not
it
the same
is.
thing
Don't
with
get me wrong.
Arsenal?
It is.
So
I think it is.
If
but
you're
what I'm
going
saying
to
to you is-
Chelsea,
no, but
they need more pieces. We need 1 more piece, 2 more pieces. They probably need 5, 6 more pieces. So you're either
but to be fair,
completing the
they've
puzzle at
got-
Arsenal, or you're being a part of a puzzle that's incomplete at Chelsea.
do you
But
not
we
think
can do
with
that all
Chelsea,
in one
though,
transfer
it's
window,
only
though.
I mean, you've been saying that for the last 3 windows, and it hasn't happened, has it?
But
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is if we give us a January, we can do it in one transfer window because we're known to spend money like that. We can do that. If we really want to pull it
Yeah.
off, we could go and sign Osimhen. We could go and get a new goalkeeper. We could go and get another midfielder. We could go and get another left back. We could go and get another winger. That's 5 players. We can do these things. Do you know what I mean? Have you got the
Gunny,
track
you've done
record to
you've
do
done
that?
the exact thing in the last 2, 3 windows. How does it work for you?
But it's still not. But I'm not saying it's complete. And also, where you look at where we spent the money, it's not entirely been on the first team either. A lot of
Where's
it
it
has
gone
been on the
True.
youth academy or towards Strasbourg or whatever it is. But it's not entirely been towards the first team. But that's not to say that the ability to do it is not there. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody's saying, "Oh, Chelsea spent 1 billion, 1 billion this, 1 billion that." How many players does that buy you? I'm just using that as a precise example. We can do it in one window. Arsenal don't have the track record of doing
But
that.
we don't need to do what you need in one window. You need 5 players. We need 1 player. That's what I'm trying to make. You need to
need
have
more
5
than-
because you
You
need
need more than one player,
you need
mate.
in terms of our first team, a striker, we're set.
You need
No,
more.
you need a
Okay.
left back. You need a left back for me. You need
I mean, Timber will sign as a left back, by the way, so he's going to come back as well. You know that.
Right back, because they got Punch playing that right back.
Huh?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. Guys, 1.1k in the building. Make sure we're liking the video, people, man. I don't know how many likes we're currently on. I'm just going to check quickly right now. We're currently on 265 likes. Wow. What are you, man, doing? Like, what's going on, guys, man? 265 likes and there's 1.1k here. That is crazy, guys. Get them up right now. Hit the like button, support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. Make sure you subscribe to these guys as well. Get their channel up as well, man. You know what? It's mad, yeah. Talk about strikers, yeah. Griezmann was available as well, and we were linked with him yesterday, yeah. Do you reckon Griezmann could do it in the Premier League? Because I'm not sure. Obviously, if you look at it, the La Liga is smashing it out right now. Is it a case of keeping him there? Obviously, United always kind of ruin players as well. But Griezmann, I think he's a top player. Me, I've wanted him for years and years. You know, like genuinely, man. Like
the fourth time he's been linked with you, know. He's been linked with you lot throughout his time.
For a minute.
And even before he went to Barcelona, wasn't there a possibility he actually could have gone to United at one point?
Yeah,
that summer. I'm not gonna lie, he is a joke. I think a lot of people after he went to when he went to Barcelona, a lot of people kind of turned a blind eye.
Yeah, they turned him. Yeah, I know.
He wasn't even that bad at Barcelona, by the way, if people actually go and take in what he was doing. But I think United is probably the wrong move. If he was to come to the Premier League, he has to go to Arsenal. Or he has to go to Spurs. He has to go to a team that is free flowing in attack. I think. Listen, I know people are going to say Arsenal aren't great in chance like they were last season. But I think if you look at the teams going forward in the Premier League, it is probably Liverpool. You throw City in there, but they got Carlin, so move City out of there. And then you got Spurs. I think Chelsea are starting to cook. United, forget about it. And then you got obviously Arsenal and Spurs there as well. I think he has to go to one of those teams.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I think Griezmann he's a baller and he's a legend. The one thing I don't like is bringing in legends at the end of their career to the Prem. It don't make sense. If you're coming to, you need to come in your prime. But what I will say though is, I was watching him the other day for Atletico Madrid, and he would be a perfect replacement for Maddison at Spurs in terms of the way of you just looking for someone who's just going to thread a ball, pass. He would come as a number 10 for me at Tottenham. Definitely couldn't play in the striker role.
He ain't a squad player though. He ain't a squad player. That's the problem.
He wouldn't be. I don't know. He's not starting in the big six. He's not.
Nah, you're massively underrated Griezmann.
Griezmann has been one of the best performing players in Europe.
He's not starting in the.
He starts for Arsenal.
He starts
for most of the big six.
He starts
for Spurs.
Are you?
He's better than Maddison.
He's not going to start ahead of Maddison.
Griezmann's better than Maddison. He's better than Maddison.
No, I agree with Babs. I have to agree with Babs.
I'm not even trying to say. No, but the thing is, I'm not even trying to say he's not better than Maddison. I think Maddison's a baller, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that he still would start in the top 6 teams. Like he would start. Like that's what I'm saying. He won't just come for a bench play. That's why I was like, he's not a bench player, bro. He's not a bench player.
And where? So who and where would he play?
Second striker. Maybe you change your system.
He's basically. You see how City have Alvarez. He would be an Alvarez for anyone else.
Babs, is he better than Odegaard? Would you play?
I think he's better than Odegaard. Yeah, I think he's better than Odegaard.
But
you man are massively underrating Griezmann.
He's not
Griezmann's a top player. Griezmann's a world-class baller.
Griezmann was a world-class.
Nah, I rate that, Babs.
No, but he's doing it.
He's not the same guy.
Yo, you've not seen Griezmann play the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Did you not see him at the World Cup, by the way?
Bro, you know what it is, bro? You got to understand the level of the Prem. When you're watching these guys do their thing in Spain, that is Spain. Look, Munch knows me. When it comes to European football, I don't even rate European football, full stop. I think Prem, there's a big gap between the Prem and the rest of Europe. Bringing him in with the physicality and the speed of the Prem. Are you mad? What's he going to do? He's not going to be able to do much.
Man. It's different, man. It's called quality, man. It's called quality. I
know
what you
he
mean,
is quality, but I'm saying at 33 years old in the Prem of today, what team is he going to fit into in the top 6?
He needs to be in a team that dominates the ball. And that's why Mont said Arsenal, Chelsea, all of those type of teams there.
Yeah.
At Spurs, I think if you saw him in Spurs' team, not Chelsea, my bad. But if you put him in Spurs' team and you're free-flowing football, you would see him thrive straight away because Maddison's a very good player. Griezmann's a proven world-class player. And because you haven't seen him play consistently enough, you can't, obviously I get it, you can't really tell that. But when you see him play, next time you watch him play the Champions League, you'll see what I mean. He's a top player.
I think he scored in every
No, the thing
Champions
is-
League game he's played this season as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
My
But
thing is,
at the World Cup, he was
in a-
insane.
the reason why I can say I get where Deji's coming from in a little bit is that when a team is like doesn't have the ball, it's not the most mobile player in the world. You need a team where they control the game, they have possession. But to be fair, Atletico Madrid don't have a lot of the ball, but yet he's in that team and he's scoring goals and he's having fun. So that misconception is a bit too much. But I do what you mean, Deji. But at the same time, the quality he would bring to your squad, man, it would be ridiculous, man. And I think Maddison would have to play in a different formation. I think Maddison would play maybe adjust his role, or would play in a just behind a striker. Maybe you play like a 4-1-1-1 or maybe a 3-5-2, and you have two players up front, and then you have Maddison the tip of the 10 role and stuff like that. So there are different ways you can do it. What are you laughing at?
But bring up SK's comment.
Hey?
He said Griezmann don't even know who Maddison is.
Hey?
Bring up that comment.
Oh,
he said Griezmann
shit.
don't
Yeah,
even know who
yeah.
Maddison is.
Yo, listen, that's
Sorry,
crazy.
sorry, that
That's
one got me.
crazy.
That is rude. Sir.
That's
That
mad.
is rude. That is rude.
Yeah.
And he's 32. He's not 33, by the way. He's 32.
Yeah, it's 32. I think it's 33 this year, but yeah, it's besides the point. Anyway, listen, I would definitely have him in my squad and most of my team, mate. You're out the door, mate. Bruno Fernandez, all these players. Are you mad, mate? I'm vacating that spot for him. I say, yo, do what you want, mate. You go be that player that doesn't have a role and just roams around and just be that creator. Like, bro, that would be unbelievable. So for me, Griezmann would have quality, keeps possession, calm on the ball. And you know what? Just an overall top player, man. So I would love Griezmann.
Is that Bruno to the bench straight away?
Bro, listen, man. Bruno's on the bench for anyone, bro. Are you mad? Think I've got any qualms about benching Bruno? Listen, you got the wrong person, mate. Anyone.
I really
can bench
hope he comes to the
anyone
Prem
like
now because I want to see people respect him. I want to see people respect Griezmann. He needs to come to the Prem. I don't know if he could come to them, but he needs to come to
You
them.
know how agile he is? He's not even slowing down. He's agile. He's tracking back.
I know. That's what I keep saying.
Going bicycle kicks and all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Bicycle kicks and everything.
Griezmann,
Bro, he's a good player, man. Yeah, man. Listen, he's a good player, man. Who also is on the spotlight is Enzo Fernandez. Listen, I like him, yeah, Enzo Fernandez, yeah. But I don't know, man. I feel like there's a lot of heat on Enzo Fernandez lately.
Rightly so.
Yeah, okay, rightly so, 100%. Do you think people have misprofiled him? Because people that keep talking about Cesc Fabregas, I think that's so disrespectful.
You
Talk about Cesc Fabregas. No, but you know that's what I'm saying. Like, fans need to stop. Like saying that he's like Fabregas. He's nothing like Fabregas. He's a player who dictates play, who keeps it simple, can play the progressive passes, but he hasn't got the magic of Fabregas. He hasn't got that magic. Fabregas was a different level.
And this is the thing, is people and people think it's disrespectful to say that. Fabregas was exceptional because you can't name too many players that were like him anyway. Do you know what I mean? So he's kind of in his own lane in terms of that. Now, my thing is with Enzo Fernandez as well. This is why I will defend him. Is that, you know, people say that he can't shoot and score goals. All right, cool. I can accept that. And they say he doesn't assist either. Now, when I tell you, assist is not just down to one player. It's also down to who's at the end of those chances. And they've let him down. They've let him down several times in terms of converting chances that should have been converted. So there's that. But in terms of, has he performed to the 105 million price tag that we bought him for? Right now, for me, the answer is no. Is there room for him to develop and to become that talent that we thought he was going to be straight away at Chelsea? I believe so. Do you know what I mean? I believe so. But if you're asking me, is his performances warranted the price tag as of now? The answer for me is no, not quite yet. But am I giving up on the player? No, I'm not giving up on him. There's no way.
Yeah, listen, you know what? Yeah, obviously the price tag wasn't his fault because obviously it was a release clause. So I think a lot of people can't really blame him for the price tag. Did they ask for more? Of course, you know what I mean. But bro, like, it's going to be difficult for him. I think Conor Gallagher is the one that's showing up all your midfielders up, and that's crazy because he's playing in a more advanced role. And
I think he's shown up not just at my club, but at several other clubs as well, bruv. I think he's been one of the top performing midfielders. But then again, for me, if you was to ask me about would you keep Conor Gallagher in the summer, that's a different conversation, bruv. Because sometimes there's a thing of, sell when high. Do you know what I mean? When it's high,
Yeah,
sell. You see what I'm
that's
saying?
fair.
Because at the
That's
same
fair.
time, as well as he's been performing at Chelsea, I can still name several other players that can occupy that position that he plays that are better than him and that I would choose over him.
That's what are you saying about Enzo Fernandez? Is it a bit harsh, the treatment, or are you laughing right now and you're enjoying it?
No, I'm not laughing. I think he's a good player. I actually think the Fabregas comparison isn't that bad. I see the passing ability. I don't think he's got the same level of burst that young Fabregas used to have at Arsenal.
Definitely not.
But Fabregas at Chelsea, which he was more controlled, I think is a closer comparison for sure. There was a good comparison in the
Yeah,
comments, the Tony Kroos one. I think that was a lot closer as well.
Tony
Enzo's
Kroos
not
for me. Yeah, yeah.
he's not really powerful, so he needs the physique around him of Caicedo, etc. But I think at Chelsea it's a bit of confusion right now because we don't know. Chelsea don't have a set system going forwards, so he can't really excel to the best either. And as I said, they don't really have a striker either who's clinical. As Goody said. So it's more of a matter of, I think his time will come for sure. He's still, 22, 21, I want to say.
21,
Very young
22.
player.
Yeah.
But I think what it is there's other midfielders, like look at Rice, for example. He's coming to the Arsenal's team, similar price tag, but no one's questioning it. He's coming and done his work straight away. That's because Arsenal have a set system. And I think Chelsea don't have that. So I think Enzo's a very good player. I'll take him at Arsenal. But, at Chelsea, we'll see. I think with Enzo also, if Chelsea don't play Champions League football this year, what's going to happen in terms of his future? I know he's signed to a long-term contract, but he's a top quality player who was World Cup goal. Was it Golden Ball? Is that what it's called? So he wants to play Champions League football as well. So Chelsea have to almost give him the right environment, and I think he will thrive. But I don't know if those current attackers like Jackson and man are giving him that platform.
Facts.
Adrian saying here, Enzo's a very good player. He unfortunately has too many stands that don't acknowledge his mistakes or his lackluster performances. Yeah, that's it. That's the problem though. You got to be able to understand when a player's off form. You don't have to still big him up and say, "Oh, no," like just let him. But the problem is though, this Premier League is unforgiving, man. It doesn't allow you to rest, bro. And this is where Enzo, because I remember he came to Old Trafford last year and he was exceptional. He came to Old Trafford and he bossed the whole game. He controlled the game. He collected the ball in the sixth row, and people say he's not a six, but then the way he dictates play from the six is still good. And I felt like he just dictated the game. He was unbelievable that day. So I don't know, man. I think for me, he's a player that, again, they need to find a midfield balance. When Lavia comes in here, what sort of midfield would it be, though? That's what I'm trying to understand. Like, where would then Enzo go? Because Gallagher's in the team. Lavia, is he kind of be the holding midfield that they need? Because Caicedo, as much as he's a player, yeah, I don't think he's still a DM. He's more he can be a combative eight. I don't know, like
I don't disagree with you, bro. You're right.
Confusing.
Yeah. That's what Arsenal wanted him. They want to play him as a six. They want him as an eight because I think his strengths are more suited going forwards as like a hybrid of an 8 and a 6. But I don't know. I don't know if Lavia's got the defensive ability to hold a midfield down either. I don't know. I don't think Chelsea will sign any new midfielders, but you might need to find a specialist number 6 unless Lavia can develop that. And also, he's 21. So bringing into that team, you got Caicedo's like 21 as well. Lavia's 21. That's a very young midfield. No experience there at all. So we'll see how that works out. But
they wanted Ugarte.
who was a more of a defense. That's why I'm not quite sure. Like,
well PSG,
how do you go from Ugarte to Lavia, who are different? I think they just signed Lavia because they thought top quality player. Let's get him before someone else gets him. That's what it feels like to me. I don't think they needed that necessarily for the current team. But I think he's a very good player that will come good as long as he's, again, given the right environment. But that's what Chelsea are not offering right now to a lot of players because of instability. So you have to trust at least a year on the Poch, see how it goes, even if it's like a high low moments. Even if Chelsea don't get Champions League football, you got to keep Poch. Because I think if you give him time and space with the right recruitment as well, I think he can make you a stable club. And then on top of that, you might have to get a better manager.
What's mad, obviously, Mons is probably looking at it thinking, bloody hell, man, you man. Just took Lavia for no reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Caicedo as well,
And Caicedo as well, like you man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but look how that's fearing for both. I mean, I'm pretty sure Chelsea would rather be where we are than where they are. So, all works out in the end when you actually have to play the football on the pitch. But what I would say is that, 4D chess, I feel like Lavia would have cooked for us. I feel like Caicedo would have been okay. I feel like Lavia actually suits Chelsea a little bit more. I don't think Caicedo has been as bad as what some people are making out to be. I think he's been all right. He hasn't fulfilled his price tag, but he's obviously one for the future. I just think that, the Chelsea midfield for me, I've been the most impressed with Conor Gallagher, if I'm honest. He's the one who's impressed me the most. But maybe that's because of the level, though. Maybe that's the expectation, because my expectation of him is not great. Maybe that's why I'm giving him the ratings, because he's nowhere near the ability of Caicedo and Fernandez. But with Enzo, man, I think it's a similar thing with Jorginho. I'm not talking about in terms of talent. I'm talking about
mobility.
Yeah, like mobility, and they have similar traits. I think Enzo is better than Jorginho. I think Jorginho in his pomp, they're not too far apart. And I think that's no slight on Enzo, because Jorginho in his pomp is still a good, is still a good player, even from his times back in the Serie A. But there are some home truths, and I do feel like he needs to. It's difficult because as a deep line midfielder, you can't score goals and get an assist. I don't really like when people say, "Oh, he's not really tipping in with goals and assists." Okay, when he was playing in the 10, I understand, but his actual position is not a 10.
Facts.
But he's also not a 6, and he's not actually a combative box-to-box 8 either. He's a deep line playmaker who needs to dictate the game in the midfield, and you can't. So he needs to dictate tempo, and if we're talking tempo of the game, that is what he does very, very well. But it's a thing where he like, you can't expect goals and assists from man. So I always think it's difficult to judge holding deep line midfielders, because it's like, if your team's dictating the game but your team's not winning games, it's like, well, you're kind of doing your job, but it's not helping the team get results. You see what I'm saying? Am I making sense, man? Like, it's very hard to
100% you are.
I think I will say, I think the assist bit is still a little harsh, because I've seen them play balls that any striker would want, but then they're not being finished, because again, it's like I said, assist depends on who's at the end of the opportunity to convert them. Because I'm sure we'd be having very different conversations if, you know, Osimhen or Haaland or one of those kind of level of strikers were at the end of some of those balls that he's played. But unfortunately, we've just not had that.
Yeah, but at the same time, sometimes he is getting caught out a bit in the midfield a little
100%. Yeah, game goes by him sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I think. And again, the price tag don't help in it. It doesn't really help. I don't know. It's just a similar thing where I feel like I don't think he needs to do too much more. I think he just needs to be more consistent with, like, I don't know, like he was like, you see the way he played against Liverpool opening day. Safe.
Yeah.
That is, if we're seeing that 8 out of 10 games, then you've got yourself a top class player. But again, he just plays in a position where it's very hard to judge what he does. I think he needs someone
also,
kind of do the running for him.
He's 21. What do you expect from him? This is what you get when you're young. You get inconsistent moments. He's going to be perfect.
Yeah, true.
So when he's 24, you'll see a much more complete player.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, 100%. I think. Yeah, go on, Deji. You're gonna say something there?
No, I was just gonna say I agree. I actually don't think he's been too bad. Yeah, I think he could probably do a lot more. But I agree with Goonie there. Like, if some of the strikers had just finished off some of the stuff that he was putting on the plate. I mean, if you think when he first arrived, some of the balls that were being finished off, it was brilliant stuff. But I guess the position that he is playing, like Mons is saying, is just one of them unsung heroes. He just has to keep doing his job and hope that the team will do it. The other thing is, again, you know, when you're playing against elite players week in, week out, I'm sure he's probably not used to that kind of level. Remember, from the league that he's coming from, and now he's playing in the Prem. So that also plays a part and takes time to get used to. But I think he'll cook, though. I think give him a couple more seasons and he'll be a top player.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Yeah, listen, we'll see, man. Because I feel like for me, it's one of them where the Premier League, it's gonna be a tough now. Christmas now, did they get through it? It's a lot of games now, man. So we're gonna see what squads deal with it, what squads don't deal with the pressure as well. So I just think Conor Gallagher, man, it's just I said to Chelsea fans, he's gonna stay in the team, and they laughed at me. So listen, we'll find out. We'll find out, man. But listen, people, we're gonna wrap up here, man. It's been a good show. We've just gone past the hour mark. Make sure you guys like the video, people, man. Hit the like button right now. I'm just gonna see if we hit 500 likes. 391 likes. We're 110 likes away from 500 likes. So if 100 people can like the video, that would be amazing. Helps the algorithm massively, man. So please hit the like button. Greeny, what are you saying, man? Any good content coming up forward?
I've actually got some pre-recordings with both Eunice and Matisse that I should be editing. I've held them down for a bit because again I've had a bit of a fever, so I've not really wanted to be on the computer for too long. But they should at least one of them should be coming out today, and definitely the other one should be coming out tomorrow. So definitely make sure you tune in for that. Man Knows Football.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you follow him. Links in the description. Babs, big up to you. Any videos coming out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
When
should
you
be a
drop them, yeah, it's this madness anyway. But yeah, go on.
Silent assassin. Nah, yeah, it should be a video tonight. Working on it right now, but it takes time, bro. Like 5-6 hours, bro. It's effort.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Like, fair play to Babs, man. I couldn't do that. Like, so there's a different side of YouTube. Babs edits videos for 5 hours, and that's how he does his content. I prefer to do the live stream. So shout out to Babs, man. Hard-working
Okay.
YouTuber. Make sure you follow up Deji Spurs, man. You got me. He's got a new channel coming now. Make sure you follow him. Links in the description. Big up Deji. What are you saying?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm going to be doing a live later on this evening, actually 9 o'clock, where I'll be looking at Tottenham's season so far after the 12 games. But then tomorrow night's going to be the really exciting one because I'm calling it the blueprint. What Tottenham need to do to stay in and around the top 3. That's the plan for tomorrow. And so yeah, please join and tune in if you can. Thank you.
Yeah, man. All bless, man. And Monts, big up to you, man. What you got coming up, man?
Yeah, we have the Big Sixpence worst, the Bummy 11. It's quite an interesting one. It's the worst 11 of the season so far, which gets spicy in there. So yeah, man, obviously you get shamelessness from me and the lads. You probably might see me saying Enzo Fernandez is just a spicy Matthias Jensen. I don't know. You might be giving me, I might say the things over there. Listen, hey, don't arrest me. So yeah, man, 7:30. You don't be there, man. It's gonna be great. But more importantly, make sure you smash the like on this video, whether you're watching it now or watching it back, and subscribe to the man. Support the man, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll be back probably live tonight, 9 p.m. So I'll tune in then. But make sure you follow the boys as well. And we'll see you next week, guys. Take care. Bye bye.